Yo YouTube, what's up guys? It's IC514 here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and in this video we got 4 most disturbing moments caught on live stream footage. Another scary video by Chilling Scares. Watched a couple of his videos on my channel before, so his stuff is not unfamiliar territory with me. Anyways, you guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys go hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go follow me on Instagram. I'll link that in the description. Anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and watch this.
On the 26th of August 2018, the gaming bar Good Luck Have Fun in Jacksonville, Florida was holding a Madden NFL tournament. It was day 2 of the competition, and the venue was packed with over 150 competitors and spectators filling the space. The whole thing was also being...
I think I already know what this one is. I'm not gonna spoil this too much, but if you know, you know. I think this is that one fucking Madden NFL 19 stream that I guess ended with someone being murdered. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you know, you know.
Streamed live on Twitch to a global audience. Unbeknownst to everyone watching, the live stream was about to come to a sudden, tragic end. At around 1:30 p.m., an armed man entered the building out of nowhere and opened fire into the crowd. The live camera feed just happened to cut to full-screen gameplay just a second before the incident, but viewers could still hear the gunshots ringing through the crowded room. Inside the bar, everything descended into chaos within seconds. Some players dropped their controllers and tried to find cover under the small tables, while others tried to make their way to the exits. Unfortunately, it was a small venue with equipment and clutter everywhere, making it near impossible to get out quickly. Luckily, the firefighters union was training in the area when the attack happened, allowing them to reach the site in just 2 minutes after the first 911 call at 1:34 p.m. They provided critical first aid to the victims who managed to escape the building, but they couldn't go inside to look for more survivors. They were completely unarmed, and while the shooting had stopped by then, the suspect was likely still inside. Fortunately, the police arrived just a few minutes later. They began sweeping the building immediately to find and apprehend the attacker before he caused any more harm. By the time officers reached the tournament venue, however, he was no longer breathing. Inside, officers found the remains of 3 people, 2 of which belonged to the victims. 22-year-old...
Yeah, see, I knew it, bro, because I think I've heard of this case somewhere, like, a while back, bro. I don't remember exactly when, but I knew I heard it, and when I saw this, when I heard Madden, I already knew that it was likely going to be this one. But, yeah, man, that's fucking crazy. Bro really got mad because he lost his fucking Madden and just, like... Honestly, bro... I don't know, bro. You just gotta learn to take your L at the end of the day.
Elijah Clayton and 27-year-old Taylor Robertson. The third person in the room was the attacker, who turned his weapon on himself after committing the crime. However, what surprised investigators even more was when they ran an ID check on him and discovered who he was. As it turned out, the attacker was 24-year-old David Katz, a professional Madden player who was competing in the same tournament just 5 minutes before the incident. This left investigators wondering how the situation got out of control so quickly. But the more they learned about David, the more it all made sense. He was born as the second son of a highly educated and stable family. His father, Richard, was a NASA engineer, while his mother, Elizabeth, worked as a toxicologist for the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Unfortunately, David suffered from mental health issues ever since he was just 9 years old, which became a major point of contention between his parents. Elizabeth wanted to give him antipsychotic medication like Risperdal, while Richard was completely against the idea. This disagreement became one of the reasons behind their divorce in 2007, when David was just 14 years old. His custody was granted to Elizabeth, and that's where everything went wrong. David spiraled out of control after the divorce and locked himself in his room. He missed long stretches of school, and when he did attend, he stayed quiet and avoided interacting with his classmates. Instead, he spent most of his time playing competitive games like Madden in his room, which later paved the way for a professional career. However, his mental health also kept getting worse during this time. He was prescribed antidepressants by a psychiatrist and was also sent to mental health facilities on 2 different occasions. And unfortunately, he didn't have the best time living with his mother either, with him even sending a handwritten letter to a judge to request a change of...
Dear Judge, today's my birthday and I'm turning 16 years old. I live with my mom and have been wanting to live with my dad. My mom is pretty crazy. I'm gonna called the police on me about 20 times for pretty much coming home a little late or
custody after his 16th birthday,
something.
stating, "Today is my birthday and I'm turning 16 years old. I live with my mom and have been wanting to live with my dad. My mom is pretty crazy. She's called the police on me about 20 times for pretty much nothing, like coming home a little late or something. She also gets drunk and starts yelling at me and poking me and doesn't leave me alone and always takes my stuff because she feels like it. She has twice sent me to mental hospitals and once to this therapy program for no significant reason. I also can never talk to her anymore because I hate her more than anything in the world." All of these problems left David with deep-seated mental health issues that persisted as he became an adult. He came across as extremely standoffish and rarely got along with other pros in the competitive Madden community. His relationship with Elijah was especially bad, with the two often clashing with each other at tournaments. Elijah also posted David's Madden strategy guide online for anyone to download for free, which only made David feel more resentful. This all came to a head on August 26, 2018, when, after losing to Elijah, David stormed out of the building and returned a few minutes later with his firearm. David had brought his guns with him on the trip, so it's unclear if the attack was premeditated or a spontaneous reaction to the loss. One thing that was clear, however, was that Elijah was his primary target. Viewers of the livestream even saw a laser hitting Elijah's chest moments before David opened fire. Besides Elijah and Taylor, David injured 10 other.
I think I did see this somewhere, bro. Like, I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but I think I remember seeing that clip of that fucking laser pointed at him, bro. This is honestly just a fucking crazy case nonetheless, bro. Like, how are you gonna fucking murder somebody that beat your ass fair and square in a video game, bro? Like, I don't know, man. You look fucking insane doing that, you know? Petty, too. Yeah, petty and insane is probably the best way to put it. Like, how are you gonna, like, join a tournament and then, I don't know, fucking murder somebody over it, bro? Like I said earlier, bro, like, if you're gonna join a tournament for Madden or any other fucking video game, really, it don't matter what it is. It could be a fucking Battle Royale, just some other game, really? Like, if you're gonna join that, you better learn to take your L, bro.
People during the attack. Fortunately, none of these other victims' injuries were fatal, and they all managed to survive without any lasting physical harm. The Katmai National Park in Alaska is home to dozens of strategically placed cameras to observe the local brown bear population. Feed from these cameras is also live streamed on the internet, mainly for education and entertainment. Viewers tune in to watch bears compete for the best fishing spots and get ready for hibernation. But in September 2023, one of these live streams ended up serving a much greater purpose. On the 5th of September, the camera mounted on the peak of Dumpling Mountain showed a man emerging from the dense fog. He was likely a hiker who had climbed the mountain earlier that day, but had become lost and stranded due to extreme weather. And it wasn't looking good. He was soaked to the bone and was visibly shivering with each step. However, with the little strength he had left, he approached the camera and said something into its mic. It was extremely windy, making his words almost impossible to hear. Fortunately, the one word viewers were able to make out was the most important one. Viewers contacted Explore.com, the company that operates these wilderness cameras, prompting an immediate search and rescue mission for the hiker. But here's the thing, this whole incident was nothing short of a miracle. It was already incredibly lucky that the hiker spotted the camera in the dense fog. But not only was this camera live streaming the footage on the internet, it also had 19 live viewers. He could have easily missed the camera entirely, or the live stream could have had no viewers, since there wasn't that much happening on the mountain at the time. And if that were the case, the chances of...
Yeah, but, like, that's probably good though, because like, he probably could have been screwed big time if he either missed that camera or if there was nobody watching that, you know? Yep, thankfully you had people watching and they were able to pick up on the help board, I guess. Yeah, let's continue.
Him surviving would have been close to zero. First was the threat of hypothermia. Even in September, temperatures on Dumpling Mountain can drop to near freezing, especially when accompanied by wind and driving rain. Being wet was also a death sentence, as water strips body heat 25 times faster than air. If he was somehow able to keep moving despite these limitations, he faced the second risk, the terrain. The slopes of Dumpling Mountain are steep, rocky, and in this instance, wet and slippery. One wrong step in the fog could have resulted in him falling down a ravine and possibly suffering a fatal injury. And with no cell service on the mountain, he had no way of contacting emergency services. However, the most terrifying risk was the wildlife. Katmai is home to one of the densest populations of brown bears on the planet. In September, these bears are in a state called hyperphagia, which is a biological drive to eat as much as possible before hibernation. They are active, focused, and most importantly, aggressive. A lost hiker stumbling through low visibility terrain was not a good combination. Luckily, he was able to avoid this grim fate entirely. Rescue workers reached the camera's location within a few hours, giving the hiker a second chance at life. All thanks to those who just so happened to be tuned into the live stream.
Okay.
On the morning of...
Okay, as terrifying as, you know, being somewhere mad foggy was and, you know, being where all those bears were, at least we got a good ending for one of those so far, even though it's like... sounds like a terrifying situation, you know, so... I guess that's some good news. The guy managed to make it out because, you know, people happened to be tuned in and all, and there were rescue workers that were able to get him out of there before something bad could have happened. So, yeah, I guess that's good news. We at least got some type of good ending there.
May 18, 2023, at around 9 a.m., 30-year-old DeMonte Sherrill went live on Facebook. However, the purpose of this live stream wasn't to entertain his viewers or make money. Instead, this was his way of saying goodbye to his family while trapped in a hopeless situation. The day started off like any other for DeMonte at his construction job on Liberty Road Drive in Charlotte, North Carolina. He was assigned to the 6th floor and got to work not long after clocking in. Things were going smoothly until around 9 a.m. when someone started putting in the foam insulation on the ground floor. This foam mixture was created on site by mixing two different chemicals in a machine. Unfortunately, the foam caught fire from a stray spark, which quickly reached the main apartment building. And since most of its wooden frame was still fully exposed, the fire spread faster than anyone could have imagined. The entire building was covered in thick black smoke, with parts of the flame reaching 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Around 100 workers on the lower levels were able to escape the building before it became this intense. Over 90 firefighters were also dispatched to the scene, allowing them to save 15 more people from the fire. Unfortunately, DeMonte and his coworker Ruben Holmes were not among the lucky ones rescued. The only way down to the lower floors was covered in thick, pitch-black smoke, making it impossible to see or breathe. All they could do was wait for help to arrive, something that was looking more and more unlikely with each passing minute. So, with no other option, DeMonte took out his phone and started live streaming to his family and friends on Facebook.
Yo, I'm at South Park right now, at work. Building on fire, and I can't get out. It's getting harder and harder for them to see us.
This was both a way to plead for help, as well as a potential final goodbye to his loved ones, although he hadn't lost all hope just yet.
Somebody send help. We're at South Park. Help!
Sadly, the fire surrounding DeMonte and Ruben was too strong for firefighters to do anything. After burning for multiple hours, the building eventually collapsed under its own weight, resulting in both DeMonte and Ruben losing their lives. Later investigations found contractors and developers guilty of not following fire safety guidelines. However, they were let off the hook after paying only a few thousand.
Damn, though, that's tragic, though. Fuck, man. Anyway, let's see. MCRT agreed to the full penalty, but the citations have been adjusted. The NCDOL said Baker Insulation will pay a fine that was reduced from $6,250 to $4,687.50. Both are also required to make improvements to their safety and health programs. A NCDOL spokesperson said the third company, Diversified Insulation, did not contest its penalty. It was fined $3,000. So these motherfuckers really thought these two guys that burned to death in a fucking building, he thought their lives were really only worth $4,000. Well, bro, I'm just gonna leave it at this. I hope their families fucking sued these guys for like way more, okay? Way more than what the company or the motherfuckers running it thought that their lives were worth. Okay?
$1,000 in
That's all I'm
fines.
gonna
A
say.
GoFundMe to help DeMonte's family also raised nearly $8,000. But no amount of fines or compensation could make up for the loss of a father of 4 and his co-worker Ruben.
Damn, that's sad.
On November 22, 2016, 19-year-old Anthony Gillia went live on Facebook from Jackson, Michigan. He appeared heavily intoxicated from alcohol and potentially other harder drugs. He was also extremely angry at something. However, understanding the source of this anger was easier said than done. He was waving his firearm around, drinking even more, and speaking words that were barely comprehensible.
Dude's drunk as shit and, you know, high off whatever the fuck he was smoking, and him wielding a fucking gun. That is a combination that is not gonna end good, bro. I can already see. I can already vision it. That is a combination for fucking disaster, bro. You and me both know this.
You know what's funny? I could go over there right now and pop a pig in the head. I could go pop a pig in the head. I don't even like my life.
Hey, stop!
I don't like my life.
It's just gonna be bad, dude.
No laws, no nothing for me. I don't give a. I got one in the chamber right now.
Baby, stop!
I have no problem.
Baby, stop!
From what the viewers were able to gather, Anthony was mad at his younger brother, Noah. There was already a lot of tension between the two ever since Anthony's parents kicked him out of the house. But then, Noah apparently sent a threatening message to Anthony, which sent him off the rails completely and resulted in the Facebook live stream on November 22.
It's not off right now. Almost.
Stop!
But almost isn't enough, right?
Guys, I think I know where this is
Oh,
headed.
I'm so scared. What's up? What's up, Live? Can someone talk to me? Alright, who wants some beef? Who wants some beef? Alright, if there's just one of you, then I'll fight you. But if there's more than one, I'll shoot. What's up? What's up? I'm crazy. Guaranteed. Guaranteed crazy.
Anthony spent much of the early stream making vague threats toward Noah and those closest to him. Now, this would normally be the end of it, but for Anthony, online threats were only the beginning, because he next went to the house where Noah was staying and actually opened fire, all while still broadcasting everything live on Facebook. Maybe he just wanted to scare his brother Noah. Unfortunately, this plan backfired horribly. You see, the bullet missed Noah completely and went through the basement door on the other side of the room. Behind that door was the other resident of the home, 26-year-old Brittany Southwell, who was holding her 7-month-old baby at the time. The bullet hit her in the back before doing irreparable damage to her internal organs. She was rushed to the hospital as quickly as possible, but tragically...
What I tell you guys, that guy being drunk as fuck, high as fuck off of whatever type of drugs he be smoking on, bro, and that fucking gun, what I tell you guys, that was gonna be a recipe for disaster. Like, I'm not even trying to make a joke here. I'm just telling you, bro. Like, damn, bro. R.I.P. to her, man. She didn't make it.
passed away soon after, leaving her baby without a mother. Anthony was arrested and taken to the police station for questioning. However, even after taking the life of an innocent bystander, he didn't show an ounce of remorse.
Crazy? Who's crazy? Who's crazy? Who's crazy?
Stop it!
Who's crazy?
You have to
Stop! Get out of here.
show someone!
Damn. Rest in peace to her.
You're dumb! You're being
I
dumb!
hope that kid is doing okay, though,
What's up?
today.
What's up? See me in the area Brotherhood in prison. See me there.
He went as far as to say that he could have killed everyone in that house if he wanted to during interrogation, as if that somehow justified or excused what he did. Anthony stood trial for taking the life of Brittany in May 2018 and was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
Good. Alright, you guys, that's the end of this video, man. These were pretty fucking terrifying and sad, bro. Like, I hope everybody that survived these incidents, like the Madden tournament incident, the guy that got stranded in the middle of nowhere, and that kid who unfortunately had to have her mother killed by that drunken high bastard. I hope everybody I just mentioned is doing alright, doing okay today. That's all I gotta say, bro. But yeah, anyways, if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and turn on the bell notifications so you all know whenever I upload a new video. If there's anything else you want me to check out, let me know in the comments, and I'll probably take it into consideration. Anyways, you guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.